integrating the experience. Some of us are so intent on separating our personalities. The person that had all of this happen to them versus you today, it's like two different people, night and day. But actually, there's true strength that comes from integrating that to realize that the hurt, the grief, the pain, the trauma is a part of your story, but it is not the whole story, is going to be a huge part in your healing journey, integrating your actual experience. And this looks like forgiveness. Someone say forgiveness. And when I say forgiveness, I'm not speaking about minimizing the hurt. I'm not speaking about justifying what happened. I'm not speaking about saying it didn't hurt that much or it never mind. That's not what I'm speaking about. Forgiveness is about not holding a transgressor to their transgression and giving it to God. For some of us, what's actually keeping us bound is that forgiveness piece. And sometimes we need healing to reach a place of forgiveness. And sometimes we need forgiveness to reach that place of healing. They go hand in hand. And so for some of us, we need to start asking, are there people that I need to forgive? And that's a process. It's a decision, but it's also a process. Also, self forgiveness. I think this piece we need. Some of us have treated ourselves so harshly in the healing journey. We speak so terribly to ourselves. We would never speak to our child that way. We would never speak to someone that we love that way. Yet to ourselves, we're like, suck it up and move on. To ourselves, we're like, you're so stupid, you're so dumb. Everyone leaves you. There's nothing good about you. If someone said that to you, you would be deeply hurt. But yet we say it to ourselves every single day. The ways in which we treat ourselves is horrendous. If that's you, that's something to let go of. You need to begin to speak tenderly to yourself because guess who does? God does. He speaks tenderly to you. He speaks tender. It's in Hosea chapter 2. It says, I'm going to lead my child into the wilderness and there I will speak tenderly to her. There's a tenderness in which God approaches your situations. And yet here we are putting ourselves down. And for me, whenever I hear that, that's quite indicative because they say that our inner voice is often the voice of a caregiver when we were young. Our parents' voice becomes our inner voice. Okay. So there's something there. And actually, just to be very, very frank, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a British Nigerian, right? And I grew up in a Nigerian household. And so I'm very much aware of how we speak sometimes. And there's a place where some of it is just intense, and there's a place where it's verbal abuse, right? Because calling your child stupid and dumb, you'll never amount to anything, you're a witch, you're a wizard, that is wrong. And I think we don't speak about that enough because we want to love our parents, right? But it's okay to call out what's not okay at the same time. And so integrating your experiences, I think that there is definitely space for that in the healing journey. Being able to no longer try to separate who we are, but take on board that actually I went through this, I experienced that, but here's where I am today. And that requires self compassion, patience, and true self love. I've been talking to a client recently about self love. I think sometimes we think that self love is purely about the bubble baths and getting your nails done. And I've been consistently getting my nails done. You wouldn't be able to tell because these are outgrown, but your girl's going on holiday soon and I'm going to be getting these redone this week. But self-love is really coming to a place of honoring your body, honoring the vessel that God has created, and genuinely saying, God, I'm going to choose to steward this temple. I'm going to choose to take care of it. And that's everything from the food I eat to the things I put in my mind, the things I watch, the things I listen to, all the way down to how I care for my skin. You know the things that you need to do in order to love yourself. Sometimes we just get our hair done because it's the right thing to do. But actually, for someone else, getting your hair done can be an act of self-love where you just want to not do that. Yeah. So activating true self-love is a way in which we can begin to move on that healing journey as well. Learning the lessons. So I put that your pain has purpose. One of the powerful places that I try to take my clients from is what happened to what have I learned because of what happened? As a result of what happened, I have learned that. and fill in the blanks. Now, there are some things that it's harder to derive a lesson from because really it just should have never happened. But for some of us, there are things we can learn a lesson from. That heartbreak, sometimes we placed ourselves in a position that God did not place us in. Sometimes we overlook the red flags because of excitement. For some of us, we overlooked what was, what was glaringly obvious because of excitement, because of desperation. You know what it is. You know what it is that you overlooked. As a result of what happened, I have learned to not trust my own heart's desires that are not submitted to God, that are not surrendered to God. Because of what happened, I have learned that I am actually more resilient than I ever thought I was. Because of what happened, I have learned that I have immense value and I should never degrade myself. Because of what happened, I have learned that I add so much value to the people around me and I should never try to diminish that. Moving from a place of what happened to the lesson learned is a great way to begin to heal the hurt.